Hey everyone, so today we're going to be going over some of the model previews for Old Umbrey that Steamforged has been releasing. We're going to just kind of compile it into one spot so it's nice and easy to find. The app, I'm sure, will be updated soon with everything, so you'll be able to find everything in there. Today we're going to be going over the Battlegroup box. So to start it off, Old Umbrey is a Fury-based army. It is under the umbrella of Kador faction, but the army is Fury based. So what that means is they use Fury instead of Focus. So your warbeasts generate Fury that your warlock can use, unlike Warcaster, which generates Focus that they can send out to their warjacks. So just kind of getting into it. We have the caster here. We have Captain Galena Lycia. As you can see on the model, a couple animals. Looks like you have an owl or a hawk. It's a hawk, I bet. A fox. And then the caster who's in a squatted pose with the weapon. I do wish they had a little bit better of an angle on it. But I'm sure they'll be showing that off more. As you can see, nice tactical rock. They have been doing a lot of those on models. I'll be interested to see if that's actually on the model or if it's just something they did for basing. So let's get into the rules. She has 15 health, and she's on a 40 millimeter base with Unstoppable and Pathfinder. Speed 7, Rat 7, which is important because her main focus, as you can tell, is shooting. Defense 16 and arm 14. Has an arc stat of 6, so she can have 6 fury on her at one time, and she has a control of 14, so that's actually pretty good. Just some base rules on this model. It has dodge, so if they're missed by an enemy attack, they can immediately move 2 inches. At defense 16, if you're in cover, concealment, that odds of that goes up. So if you're in a position where you realize you probably shouldn't be and they try to hit you and they miss, you can get out of there. Headshot is a very nice rule to deal with tough models at ranged. Also removes from play, which is important for a lot of these other armies that have recursion, so bringing back models that have died already. Prey. Prey is a great rule that not too many things have. After deployment, before the first player's turn, you choose a model or a unit, and this model gets +2 to attack and damage rolls against the prey. Once that prey is removed or destroyed, you get to choose another one, so you can kind of waterfall it if you had multiple attacks. And resourceful, always a solid rule. Any models in its battle group, you can upkeep spells on them without spending focus or fury. So, then the weapons, as you can see here, main focus is going to be the gun. Has bait the line, which speeding up your battle group after damaging a model, and you're already at POW 12, and it's rate of fire 2, so you have 2 chances to damage. You can boost it. You also have prey. So odds of you damaging are really high, and you're going to be able to get that +2 speed to get in deeper with your battle group. And the gun is also magical. Melee weapon, magic, with 2-inch range and a POW 13, respectable. And then her feat, friendly faction models, +2 defense, repo 5. I'm seeing a lot of defensive feats. It's kind of where everyone is going these days. +2 defense just in a 14-inch control is great. And then having repo 5 on top of that. You'll see here, coming up with the spells, that the repo 5 and another spell, the model can be on a completely different side of the board after their activation. So let's get into the spell list. So we have Pincushion. It's a range 10. It's an upkeep. Friendly faction models gain an additional die on ranged attack and damage rolls against target model unit. And then you discard the lowest die in each roll. So that's going to just up your average, making it easier for you to hit and damage. Now, downside to this, it is range 10, so you do kind of have to be up there. We'll kind of get into other options for that. And moving on, we have Refuge. This is what I was saying with the Repo 5. You can have a model in a completely different spot. So at the end, if they hit an enemy model with an attack, they can make a full advance. Repo 5, speed 6, or 7, you're 11, 12 inches from where you were. And then Shadow Pack, just models in your battle group having stealth is great. Means you can't be hit by ranged attacks outside of 5 inches, with the exception of, things that ignore stealth. And she does have 2 rack slots. So we don't know what the spell rack is yet, but you'll be able to pick 2 of those, and you get any of the animi that come on your warbeasts that will also be going over. So we're going to move on to the Primeval. I just want to take a minute to say, look at the sculpt. It's incredible, and I'm very excited to see how these actually go together with the convertible bits with the magnets. We're going to get right into it. We aren't going to go into super deep detail with it. There's a lot of options between this and the Feral. I don't want to have a 30-minute video just on 3 models. So we have Field Allowance 4, 30 health, and it's on a 50 mil base with access to Trample, Slam, and Headbutt. It has Native Pathfinder and Dual Attack. Some things of note. It's Fury 4 and Threshold 10, so it's going to be a lot harder to frenzy unless you're leaving a lot of Fury on the Warbeast. One of the couple of the special rules it has Body Snatcher, Trophy Hunter. So based on the amount of corpse tokens you have, you're going to be able to get these different abilities. So if you have 1, you're going to be able to run charge without being forced. If you have 3, you're going to have Grievous Wounds on your weapons. And then 5 or more, you get +2 on damage rolls. It also has Sacred Ward, so it means you can't be targeted by enemy spells, but you can be targeted by friendly. Easy way to start getting corpse tokens is using Lucky Penny. That's one of the command cards, as you can see here. And moving on, the head options are where you get your animi. So we have a Bear Head, which grants Earth's Blessing. Also gives you a POW 12 magic attack. The Raven Head gives you True Sight. And Spirit Blade, which allows you to remove enemy upkeep and animi on friendly faction model units within the range. And then you have Stag, which is going to help you with Fury management. Also gives you a POW 12 magic attack with Undergrowth. So it's going to give you rough terrain for enemy models within 5 inches and -2 defense. So a little bit of hit fixing there. We're going to get right into the right arm options. You have an Ancient Staff, which gives you Geomancy, so you can spend 1 Fury and cast a spell that costs up to 3 on your Warlock's card. So this is what I was talking about, helping get out some of those spells that are a little bit shorter range, keeping your Warlock safe. Also gives you a range 2, POW 13 magic attack. We have the Bone Sword, which is a range 2, POW 18 magic with crit amputation. And then we have a Hunting Spear, which has crit smite on a ranged attack and forced reload. And it's also magical and also gives you the range 2, POW 15 melee weapon. And then on to the left arm, we have the Enchanted Claw, which is an open fist, magic, blessed, so it's going to ignore any defense or armor buffs that they may have. And then you have the Enchanted Shield, which gives curse. It's going to be really interesting to see what these shapeshifters are. I cannot wait. It gives you +2 armor with a shield bonus, and gives you a POW 12 magic as well. Then you have the Ruined Skull, which makes you a channeler. So again, this is another way to get some of those spells out, further out. And you have Invoke the Beast. Again, really interested to see how the shapeshifters work. It also gives you a gun with the beatback rule. It's POW 12 and magic. All in all, I think the Primeval is going to see play. You'll probably see 2 different builds. Really going to depend on what your army is composed of. So we're going to move on to the Feral. Like I said, we're just going to kind of speed through these. So let's take a look at the Feral. Again, the sculpt is incredible. If you've seen a couple of the other pictures, you notice there's wings. I'm really interested to see how it all goes together because the pictures I'm seeing makes it seem like it's pretty seamless. So just, again, going to be kind of going over things briefly. This is a heavy warbeast with 28 health, so it is very light on health, especially when you combine that with only being arm 16. It is Fury 3, Threshold 6, so it's going to frenzy pretty quickly if you are leaving any Fury on this after leeching. So it's on a 50 mil, can headbutt, can slam, has native pathfinder and dual attack. Also has vault, so after you make a full advance, you can force it to be placed within 5 inches. Going to get right into the heads. You have Guard Dog, which gives you a range 1 POW 14 attack. Then you have Drek, which gives you a spray 10 POW 12 with pistol and a bite attack. 2 other options you have. You have the Praeton, which gives you Blood Quenched, which gives you a range 2 POW 14 and gives you armor and damage after you kill some models. And then Razorback, which gives you Berserk on a POW 15. On the back, this is what gives you your Animi. Bony Spine gives you Unstoppable and Primal. I think this is one of the common ones you're going to see just because Primal is such a good Animi. Then you have the Mane, which gives you Hyper Aggressive. If you are suffering damage from an enemy attack after it's resolved, you can move directly toward. And it also gives you Massacre, which gives you Overtake. Then you have Quills, which gives you Spiny Growth, which gives you an additional armor, and if you are attacked, the attacking model suffers D3 damage. Then you have Wings, which gives you Flight and access to Rush, which is +2 speed and Pathfinder. So, a few options on it. I think you're going to see 1 to 2 of these in every list, and probably going to see Primal and Rush as the animi. So, closing thoughts, very solid Battlegroup box. I'm sure you'll be buying 2 to 3 of these. I'm not sure about 4 unless you really want to get to the full FA. But I'm very interested to see what's going to happen with the command box, so stay tuned. Thank you.